Hi everyone, it's Chinny8888 for PokerStrategy.com. Today I'm just doing a session review of 4 $6.50 sit-and-goes. Yeah, this is my first video for the English community, yeah, basically what I do at the start of every tournament is I just mark which players are on many of my tables at the same time. Yeah, so generally speaking, those players will be better, and they'll play tighter to begin with, so you should call them down tighter, and later on in the tournament they'll push lighter and also call lighter, call you lighter at least, also I would hope. So you should be pushing a bit tighter into them and calling a bit lighter. Yep, but of course you should also note their tendencies, because not all multi-tablers are good. And yep. Okay, so I'm just going to start off by fast forwarding through the early stages. If I recall, I don't get many hands. I have King 7 offsuit at the top right, and it was a free play. Button limps in. Now, at a higher limit, I'd probably just donk out here because Button's limp is very, very weak, and it's a pretty bad board to donk out. But anyway, I don't feel that he's caught enough of the board often enough to make a donk out bad. But at this limit, because players slow play pretty much any two cards, I'm pretty happy to just check fold it. Maybe if he checks behind on the flop, I'll donk out on the turn, but yep. Anyway, just fast forwarding past a couple. That's obviously only for heads up situations. Yep, if it's multi-way and you miss, please just check fold. Just about note taking, I will take notes on the multi-tablers and pretty much disregard taking notes entirely on any single tablers, because generally speaking, you probably won't run into them once again, so it's just a waste of time, really. Except here I have I'm in position of a player, and just taking notes. Maybe for the tournament, just for this tournament, possibly I can call him in position a bit more and just take a couple of chips off him. Yep. Anyway, I have Ace-9 suited at the top right on the button, and it's folded to me. Now, it's perfectly fine to just fold this, but I go for a blind steal here and just raise it up. It's very marginal regardless, and you should treat hits with a bit of caution. Now, flop pairs my ace, and it's Ace King 10 with two hearts. I obviously need to protect my hand, so I bet 2/3 pot here for both protection and value against kings or worse aces. I feel that better aces would have raised pre-flop here. Turn is interesting. It's the 9 of hearts, so it completes any possible flush draw out there, as well as giving me 2 pair. And he checks to us once again. Now, I think betting 2/3 here, and if he check raises us, we have a pretty easy fold. So I think betting 2/3 for value there is best. Now, river is the queen of diamonds. It's quite ugly, but I feel that we're still most of the time ahead here. He can't really. I don't really see many hands in his range that included Jack there, because even the horrible players at this limit aren't calling down 2 streets with a 1 card to a gut shot straight draw. So it's quite rare for him to hold a Jack here, but nonetheless I'm checking behind, because he's quite bad, and he won't realize that I could have a Jack. I couldn't have a Jack here either, so possibly he gets scared off with any hands that we can possibly get value out of. And he shows Ace-5 offsuit, which is interesting. If the river was a blank, I'd probably value bet it once again. But of course, if he check raises there, it's a very sick spot for us. Fortunately, we don't get many check raise rivers at this limit. Three-way at the bottom left. We've got a donkey to our right, and we've missed the board, so it's still an easy check fold. A7 suited at the top right, from in middle position is an easy fold, and yeah, here we have a player who 4-bet A6 offsuit pre-flop, and yeah, more or less stacked off when he hit his pair. Like I said, I don't usually take notes on people who aren't multi-tablers, but here we're in position of the guy, and maybe we can get some chips from him. Okay, we have pocket tens at the top left. Someone raises it to 5 big blinds pre-flop from MP1. Now it's okay to call here and just to play for a bit more than just set value, but it's a marginal spot, and I like to stay out of these marginal spots. Especially sick as if we call and someone behind us shoves all in. So yeah, that's why I don't like to just call in these spots. And we obviously don't get the odds to call just for set value. So yep, I fold this without much thought. And no hands once again. I'll just fast forward past all of this. And yeah, thankfully, Brusky gets some chips. You would prefer to have the worst players with the chips in a tournament, really. And I'll just fast forward once again. Nothing of interest to talk about. Okay, we have Ace-Jack offsuit in the big blind here. A player that we've marked as a multi-tabler, who we have no further reads on at this point in time, makes a mini-raise from the cutoff. Now, I feel that here the mini-raise is more indicative of a monster than of a weak hand. So I'm just giving him credit here for his being a multi-tabler, and I just fold here, even though I'm getting great odds, 5-1 on my ace-jack, just because I feel that, you know, if I hit my ace, it's not always good, and if I hit my jack, it's definitely not always good. So I think the reverse implied is quite bad there. However, as we will see, this multi-tabler is very bad. Very bad. His mini raise is actually an ace-5 offsuit, and of course we must take a note on that. And next time we're in the same spot, we can re-raise him there, or at least call. But yeah, probably re-raise. His post flop wasn't that bad because yeah, like we said, Brusky is pretty shocking. And I'll just fast forward it once again. This is where notes like this really are useful though, because I mean Brusky is on, I think it sorry, Bedouin is on 3 of our tables, so I mean I don't really feel that he's playing differently at one table. It's significantly very differently from on one table than on the others. So these notes are, you know, 3 times as useful as if I took notes on just one player. Now we have 9-10 suited top right in the big blind. Easy fold pre-flop, of course. But yep, if I had deck reads, would have been a good call. Unfortunately, I do not. And again, we're happy that the donkey Bedouin doubles up. and I'll just fast forward once again. Yeah, ace 8 suited with 12 big blinds on the button at the bottom left. Um, First to act, I would shove ace 8 suited in that spot, but I had ace 7 suited, and I think it's a plus dollar EV shove, but I think I can find better spots than that. And now the very next hand at the bottom left. Okay, as soon as he does it. Bedoan here limps in from under the gun. Now, usually speaking, when we see a regular limp in from under the gun, it's kings or aces, and he's just doing it as for deception at this blind level. Except now that we've taken notes on Bedoan, I feel that although he could still be slow playing in the spot, I feel that most of the time he's just limping in with trash and folding to a raise. So what I will do is, with my pocket sixes, I will shove and treat his limp as dead money. Um, of course, this isn't something that you should do without reads, but yeah, we do have reads on him, so that's good. And we win the blinds. Pocket nines, I make a questionable play here. I raised to 250 pre-flop, just 2.5 big blinds. Now, my reasoning here is that people will interpret the 2.5 big blind raise as weakness and shove over me a bit lighter with worse hands. As such, I can then make the insta-raise call and expect to be ahead, or at least flipping a good majority of the time. However, this isn't good on this limit because donkeys will call you, and as we will see just about now, they'll donk out. I felt at the spot that Darwin would not donk out any ace or any 10 here, so I figured that he'd at least go for a check raise. But so therefore I decided to go for a float on him and see what he does on the turn. If he checks to us on the turn, I check behind and call a small river bet. As played though, he donks again on the turn, and we're forced to fold. This is why a 2.5 big blind raise is not too good. I mean, Bedoan probably limped in with, I don't know, ace 3 offsuit because an ace is the nuts. Um, and I mean, we lost a pretty big pot that we should have at least won the blinds or something like that. But that's no problem. I mean, hey, as long as I don't do it again. Here with king 5 offsuit, it's a first in shove, but to a raise in front, it's an easy fold. And 7-2 offsuit is not good enough top right to shove with 11 big blinds. Now here I have 9-5 offsuit in the small blind. To my left is a typical single tabler. I don't have any reads on him. However, I feel that single table people who are just playing one table are calling far too tight when the blinds are quite large. In this case, we've only got about 7 big blinds, so my range here into a one tabler is literally any 2 cards, and 9-5 offsuit is actually, pretty good on pretty good in that department. Now, here we will be shown how good a shove this was. This is in real time, by the way, and he takes literally, I think that was 10 seconds or so to call with his jacks. So I don't know, if he's folding 9s in that spot, we gain a sick amount of equity from the times he folds. Now, top left we have 7s, and Lodjubs in front of us raises it, open shoves for 12 big blinds. I don't feel that I'm ahead of his range here because he is a decent player, and it's from the MP3 position. I definitely don't think his range is very wide there, and so I make the easy fold with my sevens. Now, bottom left we fail to suck out, which is, wow, kind of expected. um, so yeah, whatever. I'm just starting a new tournament now. At the top right, I again raised 2.5 big blinds, hopefully to bait a shove. But again, just don't do it on this limit. People call you way too often, and yep, you don't really want to see a flop. I mean, with queens, it's okay to see a flop, but you don't want to play differently with queens than you do with, say, I don't know, tens or nines at this limit, at this blind level, and as such, you don't want to see a flop in general. And fast forwarding past the dead bits once again. Top right here we have effectively about 7 big blinds into a regular. Now, we're first to act in the small blind, so there's only one person that can call us in front of us and, sorry, behind us. Because he's a regular, I don't quite shove any 2 cards here, but I will definitely shove King 6 offsuit. It's the top 50% of hands, and it's quite an easy shove for us. Bottom right, we have Lodgiab's folding on the button for 6 big blinds. I feel his range there should be any 2 cards, so I actually take a note here. I think that he's push folding a bit too tight. Now 10-8 offsuit in the big blind, similar spot to top right, except we're pushing into a single tabler, so I'm pretty confident that he will fold way too often, so I'm just going to shove this, well, shove any 2 cards really. And top left, 8-6 offsuit is a below 50% hand, so we can't, pretty much can't ever call this. Queen 10 suited to a raise in front is a fold, and even first in I would fold this. Here top left, I'm pushing into the big stack, but I feel that he's calling us quite tight. Now I actually missed a hand a couple of rotations back where he called a shove with ace-6 offsuit, but I mean at the time I'm not omniscient, so I couldn't take notes on this as well. So I felt that his call range was tight enough for us to make a 7 big blind shove with 7-2 suited profitable. But as we can see, he called us with Jack 10 suited, which is pretty bad, especially because he doesn't really have reads on me, and flops his flush, so hey, we're out in another tournament. That's no problem though. It's almost worth it to take notes on that, but again, we probably won't see him ever again, so hey, whatever. In general, shoving in those spots into an unknown on this limit is okay, so whatever. And yeah, just trying to identify some multi-tablers. However, we didn't start several at the same time, so it's quite hard to notice any. Now, top left with pocket 5s, we have a person in MP3 open limping, and if it was folded to me, I would be inclined to make a steal raise there, because I don't like open limping, but yeah, open limping is okay, and definitely if there's one limper in front of you, I would limp behind with low pocket pairs. Top right, I have ace-king offsuit. The correct play here is to either raise to 3 big blinds or just directly shove it, but yep, I make the 2.5 blind raise again, and we see the ugliest flop. If he checked to us, I would because of the stack sizes, I'd still be inclined to make a continuation bet, and but I'd expect to be called a great deal of the time. As such, though, he donks out into us, and we're forced to fold our ace-king offsuit. There's nothing you can really do there. Just this is why you don't raise to 2.5 big blinds on this limit, though, because people are bad. Oh, and just fast forwarding again. Someone raises. We have 6 big blinds, and he has something like 9 big blinds, and he's raising from MP3. Tens is the nuts here, really. So pretty easy shove. And oh, fortunately, I do suck out. Well, not really suck out, but I do win my coin flip. And yeah. This was very bad play by him, by the way. Jack Queen offsuit really sucks. It's two picture cards, and so it looks good, but it's so easily dominated that yeah, I mean, you just please don't make moves like that. On the button, obviously, Jack Queen suited would be an easy shove, but from MP3, committing half of your stack with that is just horrible. Ace-3 suited on the cutoff with just under 6 big blinds is an easy shove first in, and I make it. Lodge-ups makes a hero call here with Ace-9 offsuit. Unfortunately for him, we do suck out, so whatever. Good for us, bad for him. And Queen Jack offsuit bottom right would be an easy shove first in, but to a raise in front, I am happy to lay that down. Now here, top right on the bubble, we have King 10 suited in the big blind with 11 big blinds. What's to note here is that we're second equal chip leader, and there's a massive chip leader to our left. I'm inclined to feel that he'll try abuse us, exploit us quite a bit, because of the short stack on the table, on the bubble. So I make quite a questionable play here, and I call the short stacks all in. I felt that against an unknown, his push range should be wide enough on the bubble for us to make this profitable. But in retrospect, I think against an unknown on this limit, it's best to just fold here, even though, hey, we're getting 730 for 1230. So we only need just over 35% equity to make it plus chip EV. But yeah, it's pretty marginal anyway. I decided to make the call, and he flips over pocket fours. We win the flip here, so we make it into the money. Like I said, though, it's a very marginal spot. I would, yeah, I'd probably advise against doing that. Actually, at this limit, at a higher limit, definitely the short stack is shoving wide enough for it to make for us to make that profitable call. And Ace Queen offsuit top right. Oh, Ace Queen offsuit top right is an easy shove for effectively 10 big blinds, and in the money. And he fails to suck out on us, and we're a second now. Now Ace-3 offsuit on the button. I raise pretty light. This deep stack in heads up mode. So I raised to 2.5 big blinds, and he instantly min re-raises us. Now, because we have position on him, I decided to make a call here, and I felt that shoving had a pretty bad risk-reward ratio, especially against unknown. And I mean, the flop totally misses us. It's king 9-5 with 2 diamonds. We just have the backdoor nut flush draw. And, yeah, to a pot size bet, we don't really have the odds to draw for that. And I'll just fast forward once again. 5-7 offsuit is a check. And, I decided to just play check call here because if I bet out, I didn't feel that worse hands would call me. Yeah, I didn't feel that worse hands would call me on the flop, so I just opted for a check call. Here on the turn, it's the 4 of hearts, quite an ugly card. I mean, I just bet out to see, kind of to see where I am here as well. If he raises us, most often we're a beat, so I would just play bet fold here, but he just folds to us, which is a good result. Here with 22 big blinds, I don't like limping on the button. It is also okay though if your opponent is playing quite bad and he's not defending his big blind very much. So I just fold my trash. But yeah, I mean you can also limp in with trash. And 5-6 offsuit is an easy check. Here on the flop, I opt for a donk out. It's a limped pot, and I just don't feel that he's limping his ace type hands in the spot. So I felt that would be able to take it down with a donk out often enough to make this profitable. I'm not really concerned that my bottom pair has paired. Because we're out of position here, it's far too expensive to find out whether whether it's good enough by the river, because I mean better hands will value bet us, yep, quite a bit, and worse hands would probably just check behind and we win a small pot. So it's quite bad reverse implied if we just play, I don't know, check call, check call, check call or something. As played though, he decides to raise us, and we have an easy fold. Here at the bottom right, we have a free play with 4-7 offsuit, and the flop totally misses us. It's okay to donk out in the spot, but like I said, I feel that these donkeys on this limit are slow playing too many types of hands, and it's a pretty coordinated board as well, so we can't make him fold that often. Top right we have king 10 suited, and it's a raise to 2.5 big blinds, and we just win the blinds. Here at bottom right, I make a mistake here. We've got unknown in the big blind, and he's got about 7 big blinds. The correct range here for us should be any 2 cards, but I think I was quite busy at that time and just saw trash and clicked fold. Here with king 6 offsuit at the top right, I missed this. From the button he raises to 5 big blinds. It's a huge overbet. I interpreted that as weakness, and I felt that he was stealing wide enough for us to make a re-steal profitable. I felt that we have some fold equity in the spot, in which case we win a very, very nice pot without showdown, and if we were called, I still felt that a lone king was ahead often enough, but as played, he actually had a monster. It's very marginal. We didn't really have enough reads by this point in time, to really assess what his range was there. So I think in retrospect, I would have just folded this and waited for a better spot. And of course he flops his full house, so we're drawing pretty much dead from the flop. But that's okay. Yeah, I decided not to start anymore. Here with kings in the big blind, we have someone from under the gun +1, raising it to 6 big blinds, and someone on the button shoving all in. Kings is the same as aces, and queens are the same as kings. So here it's a very, very quick insta reshove. No need to get fancy there and just call or something. And he shows us queens. He fails to suck out, so we double up. Notice that my play there would be the exact same with queens, so it's just unlucky that he was on the receiving end of that. Well, I mean, I wouldn't shove in his spot, but if he had kings on the button and he shoved, I'd still call with kings, with my queens in the big blind. And bottom right, we have 9-6 offsuit, and it's a free play. Yep, it's a three-way pot, so I'm not inclined to bluff at the pot, and I'll just play check fold. Bottom right, we have 4-7 offsuit. To a raise in front, it's an easy fold, especially when he's committed to call a shove anyway. Bottom right again, we have 8 big blinds here with antes, and someone from under the gun limps in. Now, because he's not a regular, I'm inclined to believe that he's just doing limp fold with trash, and that he's not trapping often enough. So I just shove and expect to win it most of the time. And indeed we do win it, and we add a nice third to our stack, or thereabouts. And bottom left we have middle pair. We flopped middle pair in free play. It's an easy check fold. Here at the bottom right we have ace queen offsuit, and the small blind raises 4 big blinds into us, which is a massive overbet. Even if he shoved straight away, though, I would still call with ace queen offsuit in this spot and expect to be ahead in a majority of the time. Once again, though, he's overplaying his jack 10 suited. I think it was queen jack suited last time, but anyway, whatever. He has trash again and sucks out on us, so we're out of that tournament. Here with ace6 offsuit in the bottom left, because we'll be out of position if we raise. I think it's just best to just fold it. Here with jacks at the bottom left, we have someone from under the gun +1 raising it to 3.5 big blinds. Now, there are really 3 options open to us. We can flat his raise and go broke, obviously if we hit a jack, or if we have an overpair. This is pretty good because we're in position and we can just play quite safe. Yeah, we can play quite safe if we don't. If the board becomes ugly or something like that. We definitely can't call just for set value because we're not getting call 15 or even call 10 for that matter. Okay, we can also re-raise all in if we feel our range is ahead of his, but I really don't. It's an early position raise from unknown, and I think he's raising too tight in that spot for us to reshove all in there. Or we can just fold. I opted for a fold here because yeah, it keeps us out of marginal spots once again, and yep, calling there is okay though. I don't know. I think he's actually quite a bit tighter than I gave him credit for, but hey, whatever. Limited information, and we only knew so much at that time. And I'll just fast forward once again. Nothing really interesting happens. Yeah, we flopped bottom pair, 4-way, bottom left. I don't think I need to tell you that that's an easy check fold. And again, bottom pair, top left on a very coordinated board. I'm just playing check fold there. If he checks behind to us on the flop, I'll donk out on the turn and try win the pot there. Here, yep, I don't make a mistake this time. I just raised to 3 big blinds with kings, both for value and to protect the hand. If I recall, I don't get any action. Pocket 4's top left, from under the gun +1. We don't have the odds to call for set value because the players behind us are way too short stacked. And so what I will do there is just fold it. If I was on the button, I'd make a blind steal with pocket 4s, but I mean, from early middle position, it's just leaky. We get re-raised too often to make that profitable. Fast forwarding once again. And king 4 offsuit top left is an easy check. Four-way, we flop nothing, so we're just check folding. Here we see actually quite an interesting thing. Sunshine Gal checks, and the player on the button bets the minimum. Sunshine makes a call here, and it goes check on the river, and Sunshine shows 3 pair, pocket 10s. He or she called the turn bet, the 150 turn bet with 10 high. Yeah, very well played, sir. Or ma'am. Yeah, that's obviously a big no-no. Queen 8 suited first in. If we were first in, it would be an easy shove, and to a raise in front, it's an easy fold. And nothing really happens. Here with Queen Jack offsuit, if we were first in, it would be an easy shove for us. But what I will do is I'll treat this limper as an extra blind for us to go through, and I just feel that too often he will have a decent enough hand that he'll feel committed to call with for us to make a shove with Queen Jack offsuit unprofitable. That, and we're often dominated, so not too good. Actually, I'm quite lucky for his limp in because Sunshine woke up with King Queen offsuit, and I'd be drawing, it'd be a 70-30, and I don't like those. And fast forwarding once again. King 9 offsuit, under the gun +1. First in, I'd still fold this. There are too many people to 8 after us for us to make a shove with that profitable. And with 5 effective big blinds at the... oh no, sorry, 7 effective big blinds into an unknown, first to act from the small blind, I'd shove basically any 2 cards, and indeed I do. Fast forwarding once again. Ace Jack offsuit here, we have 15 big blinds. Raise calling is very, very bad. If we get reshoved, we are almost always behind. Limping in is obviously bad because it puts no pressure on the blinds, and raise folding, I think, is probably the best play here. Also, I think shoving has a bad risk-reward ratio. I opt for a fold here, but hey, that's to get myself out of marginal situations. You can also push or raise fold there. Pushing would actually be +$ EV, but I just think I can find better spots than that. And raise folding, I don't know. It's probably the best play there. Queen 6 offsuit with 5 big blinds on the button into 2 unknowns. It's a pretty easy shove for me actually. I'd shove just under 50% of hands. just over 50% of hands. And we run into a monster once again, and fail to suck out, but that's no problem. Such as variance. King Queen offsuit is an easy shove, of course. Ace 3 suited here, I have 15 big blinds on the button first to act. I've got a big stack after me, so to act behind me, so I feel that a shove has a bad risk reward there as well. It's probably plus dollar EV, but like I said, we shouldn't just be. We can always find better spots, especially at such a low limit with so many donkeys around us. And just fast forwarding once again. I feel that Chili Snaps is actually pushing quite nitty, so I decide that a fold with King 10 offsuit is the best play. Of course, it's very easy to fold that with someone who's called already in front of us. Queen 10 suited, first in, I would shove that for 14 big blinds. I just think bumping is a normal fish, and he will just call us too tight in that spot. Of course, to a raise in front, it's an easy fold. And no hands once again. Here, Queen 8 suited is a pretty easy fold to the shove in front, even if it is for just over 7 big blinds. Yep, King 10 offsuit with 11 big blinds, first to act, is an easy shove. Well, not an easy shove, but it's definitely plus dollar EV. And thankfully for us, we make it in the money with Bumpin's suck out. And just fast forwarding again, Queen 10 offsuit is of course an easy fold to this ridiculous amount of action. And Ace 2 suited, any ace for 11 big blinds in the money is the nuts. And this is how you play the nuts. And for 12 big blinds, because I've shoved the previous hand, I will shove again with aces. Unfortunately, I get no action still, but that's no problem. For 14 big blinds in the money, just over 14 big blinds, any ace I still feel is the nuts, and I will just shove it. Here we have middle pair, three-way. Yeah, three-way is an easy check fold. Here now we have 7 big blinds with 7-6 offsuit. To a raise in front, it's an easy fold, but if he folded to us, it would be an easy shove as well. And unfortunately for us, the shorter stack wins, sucks out. I'm just folding here, and top left has Bumpin has aces again. Whatever. Now we have ace 9-8 offsuit first to act with 7 big blinds. Has good suck out value against his range. So I'm just gonna, against his call range that is, so I'm just gonna ship it in. I think I would shove just about any 2 cards here because I feel that Bumpin is push folding a bit too tight. And pocket 3s here is an easy fold. Pocket 4s I would call, pocket 4s is plus EV to call, plus dollar EV to call. But I might still fold 4s to 5s and definitely call 6s. But yeah, 3s is an easy fold. 9-3 offsuit for just under 7 big blinds, easy shove. because I feel that he's calling way too tight. King 6 offsuit with a big stack in the big blind. I'll just fold it for 8 big blinds. And 3-4 suited is an easy fold to any action. Again, 2-5 suited first to act. I would shove it, but with a raise in front, it's an easy fold. And we make it in the top two. 10-2 offsuit. I feel that Real Kid here is calling me quite wide because from what I've seen, he's playing quite solidly. So I'm chucking away the bottom 20-30% of my hands in that spot, and 10-2 offsuit is definitely in that range. Now it's also okay to shove any 2 cards in that spot. King 5 offsuit I'd call a push with, and 10-3 offsuit, yeah, the same theory. And yep, Ace Queen, easy call. And here we have a 50% hand that has quite a bit of suck out value with 8 big blinds. I would easily shove 50% type hands in the spot. 9-3 offsuit, easy fold. And pocket 2s, any pocket pair is the nuts. First to act, so yep, just shove it in. Well, with these blinds at least. 10-8 offsuit, I feel that, I mean, it is slightly below 50% hand, but I feel that with 8 big blinds, I feel against his call range, 10-8 offsuit plays pretty well, so I'll just shove it in. And we obviously gain from the amount of fold equity we have. Queen 10 offsuit, 10 big blinds, it's easily good enough, and aces is folded to us. Wait a second. Okay, it just skipped past about 20 hands there. Sorry about that. So yeah, 10-8 offsuit in that spot is a shove. Here Queen 10 offsuit is a shove again for just over 9 big blinds. And aces unfortunately gets no action. Yeah, Queen 5 suited I folded there for 10 big blinds because it's just over 50% type hand, and for 10 big blinds I'm pushing about 40, maybe 35% of hands. Um, 5-3 offsuit in the free play. Again here I feel that he's not limping an ace very often, especially with how aggressive we've both been playing, so I decided to donk out, and I feel I have enough fold equity there. Yeah, once he calls out donk out, I just check through all streets, and we actually get a split pot, which is awesome. Yeah, he caught us on the flush draw, by the way. 5-8 suited again. I opt for a check raise here because he really, after limping in, he really should be betting any flop. I suppose this is a very ugly flop to bet. Jack and the 9 is, puts a couple of straight draws out there, as well as the 9 and 2 of clubs puts a obvious flush draw out there. Once we hit our flush, and because he's checked behind on the flop, I'm just going to donk out and hope that we get some action from king or jack type hands. Unfortunately we don't, but that's okay. King 10 suited for just under 11 big blinds is an easy shove, and 3-4 offsuit is an easy fold, but he folds to us. And King 10 suited here, King 2 offsuit here for 9 big blinds is quite a marginal shove, but I feel that he's calling us too tight, and I mean he's been pushing pretty tight as well, so I just decided to go for a shove here and expect to win it often enough. In fact, he maybe isn't, but I mean, he calls us with ace-3 offsuit, and we suck out. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you learned something. And yep, thank you.